So we've had an exceptionally good germination rate, and I attribute that almost completely to the heating pad that's under there. I'd like to thank Miranda, my friend from work, for borrowing that to me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to carefully... So what we're going to do now is we're going to take these, we're going to actually just pop them right into... We're just going to pop them right into some red Solo cups and fill in around them. So we're just going to leave them a little low in the container and plop them in there. We're going to leave all 3 of them in there because I don't want any to die in transplant shock. But what we're going to do is we're just going to lightly pack that around and allow some space to bring this up. So we're going to use the red Solo cups, and I've purposefully left about 3 or 4 centimeters from the top because peppers will actually sprout roots from their stalk. So as these get a little bit bigger, I'll actually fill this in a little bit more so that they continue to develop a healthy rooting system. I've left all of them in place. 1 has died. There's 2 still doing great in here, and I've left them in place so that when they go through the transplant shock, if they do, if 1 dies, I'm not losing a complete one. So when you water, you want to make sure it's nice and light. You give it a couple of good soakings, nice and slow, and then you just want to top that up with soil to make it to the same level as the peat pod. So you know these peat pods are ready to be potted when you see the roots coming out of the base. Now you can remove this plastic exterior earlier, but I've had no problem with this choking the plant at all, especially pepper plants that develop quite a good rooting system. The other thing is I'll be burying these deep as we go, so they'll continue to push roots out above this as well. So these ones are definitely ready to go. I'm going to finish up planting them. So they've successfully survived the transplant. Now comes the toughest part for a gardener, thinning them out. You got to pick the strongest one, and all I do is I use scissors and I pull the dead plants out. I leave the strongest one. That's typically the one that's already got the first true leaves and is working on the next set of true leaves. I typically wait until it's working on its next set of true leaves, just in case. It's going to pick the little bit shorter one, but it looks a little healthier. So the habaneros still have to wait. But these guys are ready. Just squeeze them in. So we now have the beets in here. Now you'll notice a bunch of a height difference. So what now needs to happen is what I call the stacking game. You need to make sure that these plants are as close as they can be to the lights. These lights are cool, so they won't burn the plant, but there's only so much adjustment that you can do to them. So it's now a bit of a game of Jenga to figure out how you're going to get them all on the same level. So we'll finish that and come back. So what I've done is I've attached a second set of lights, and this is just to get the beets a little bit of light to help them come along. These ones, I'm going to leave them until these have sprouted, and then we'll have to do a major rejig in here to make sure that they're all under healthy light, not reaching towards anything. So with these fluorescent lights, you don't have to worry, they don't get hot, so you can put them almost right down on the plant, and that's what you really want. So what you do is with my little jury rig system, bring it down, and then I kind of adjust the heights to get it as close as possible to the plants. So it takes a little bit of jury rigging, a little bit of jigging, and then you just have to make sure that they're right under the lights. Okay, so we'll, as always, we'll keep you updated, and if you haven't already joined, please check out my Facebook page.